Hey, Cousin Internet, it's me, Cousin Todd, with Mama's Comedy Show, and with me is Cousin Matt.
Hey, Internet.
You son of a bitch. I just listened to that podcast the other day where you did that, and I was like, that guy's got no material of his own.
Penis land.
And in our third seat, we have a special guest, Brett Kavanaugh.
I'm very... It's been very difficult for my family.
Would you like some water?
No. I'm fine. I busted my tail in Yale. This is the Clintons or something.
All right. How was your week?
Brett Kavanaugh sucked.
Yeah. No, did it really? Like, did his week suck, you think?
Yes.
I think he still gets the job.
You know what? I don't think he does, because I think Flake and
that investigation.
I think they're going to ask for it.
Well, they did. Well, they didn't officially ask for it. They kind of asked for it, that's I don't know. Maybe it's just me being cynical, but the entire time, like that I'm watching, I go, God, this guy just like he seems like he's full of shit. Like, because what was the one lie, the 18-year-old lie of where he was like, yeah, it was legal to drink beer. But it wasn't.
But he was 17
that
summer.
But the drinking age didn't change to 18 until after he'd graduated. It was like this whole kind of weird thing, and I was like, well, why would you lie about anything at this point?
Well, would you like to hear my theory?
Yes.
As to whether or not Judge Kavanaugh committed the sexual assault, I really do believe Dr. Blasey Ford, but I think...
You're supposed to say hashtag, I believe her.
Hashtag, she all good.
Okay.
But I think that the mistake he's made is that he's been so adamant about everything that if he's innocent of this...
Right.
I think if this guy, Mr. Judge, his friend, is deposed by the FBI... we're going to find an inconsistency with his story.
Yeah,
and
that's the
one lie,
yeah.
And the game's over because he was a former prosecutor, one of the Democratic senators. He quoted a Latin phrase. I can't remember what it was, but one lie means they're all lies or something like that.
James Comey he put out a tweet as well that said the small lies are important too.
Yeah, and if he gets caught in one lie, it's going to be...
Could you close that door? I'm just listening to us, and it sounds like we're having this political discussion in a Chinese restaurant. Just
he your duck. Todd, don't do racist voices.
Damn it! Sorry, it's okay. I dated one of them.
Oh, good.
I dated one of those people.
Good work.
So clearly, I can't be racist. Okay, well, we do have a third seat person here for real.
Yes.
As you know, Matt and I have been. Comedy doctors.
Another episode of Joke Doctors, MD.
So we're going to introduce you, and then you do a few minutes, and then just chill out with us. All right? No, you just fucked everything up by making a sound into the microphone.
Just hit rewind. We'll tape over it. Splice it. Get the razor.
Get Michael Winslow in here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Sara Geimer.
Wait, let's stop right there.
Wait.
Let's call her Ms.
Okay.
Just for the hell of it, we're gonna make an assumption on this one.
Yeah. Well,
that Sarah's not a Mister.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, put one hand clapping against the other makes an awful good sound for
Ms.
Zay. Isn't that the proper way of doing it now? If you're not saying a pronoun, or what is it? Zay, Zim, Zay.
What are you doing? Is that an improv game? Like
no.
Zip, zap, zop? What are you doing? Zim, Zay, Zoo.
There is that game. What is it? What is that game?
Zip, zap, zop?
No, not Zip, Zap, Zop. There's a game where everything you say has to start with the letter S. Everything I say has to start with the letter R.
Stop.
So it's like no.
Stop.
It's like Ray, rat, how are you ruing?
Oh, so it's Scooby-Doo?
You like Scooby-Doo, but then you always give someone a vowel and they sound like there's something wrong with them.
Like, I'm all right.
Someone put a wallet in his mouth. All right, let's hear it for Sara Geimer.
Hi, thanks for having me here tonight, you guys. I'm so excited to be here. This is really cool. As normally I would ask if you guys are on a date, but I don't.
We're not.
Yeah, I assume
but
you're
we
not,
do have
but
sex.
I feel like that's. What do you have it during the? I feel like now I'm going to get to start. Do you have it during the podcast
Sex?
or after?
Oh, we're going to wait for you to finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we're going to finish.
I mean, I didn't know if that was like an invitation.
We're going to Kavanaugh
like,
the hell out of you.
Which means you're not allowed to tell anyone for 30 years.
That
You'll become a
right?
doctor, and that's nice.
I just asked because, I've been having a hard time dating. Especially because I'm married, it's like extra hard. Actually, no, I am celebrating my divorce, so Miss was accurate. Thank you.
Hands up on the divorce table. Yes, please.
And I found out that here in the state of Florida, when you get divorced, you have to go in front of a judge and you have to say the reason why you want to get divorced. And if it's not a good enough reason, they can make you stay married. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so my husband and I, we kind of started to sweat because we didn't want to go in there and be like, we both want to find someone else to make some more money. So my husband was like, well, you know the reasons, just pick something vague. I was like, I got this. And so we go in there and the judge says, what's the reason for divorce? And my husband said, irreconcilable differences. And I said, whores. I love them. I love whores. And that was good enough. So, although the judge had one of those those puppy dog faces I just couldn't say no to. Like my husband and I, we've been separated for 3 years, but the judge has such a sweet face. I was almost like, oh, we'll make it work for you, judge. But okay, I feel like I have to be honest with you guys because I feel like you can tell. But even though I'm a comedian, I actually have really horrible anxiety and stage fright and stuff like that. But I always like to go up there on stage and I'm like, hey, I'm up here, I'm doing it, getting my dick wet. I'm using that right? Right?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I said that at this club one time and this guy was like, you can't say that here. We only do clean comedy. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't say dick. And he said, no, you can say dick. You just can't say dick wet.
Right.
And so I told my family and my mom was like, what if you said damp? And my brother said, or moist. Yeah, and I was like, ooh, I don't think you can say dick moist in any place where there's people. Because it's really hard to tell clean jokes. We had a little talent show at my work recently, and the intern who was organizing it came up to me and she asked if I wanted to tell some jokes. And she's like, Sarah, I know that you do comedy. How long could you tell jokes for? And I was like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And she was like, it has to be appropriate for work. And I was like, yeah, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Because where I work, it's kind of conservative. I do engineering for a company that makes sex robots. Actually, no, I wish that we made sex robots. That's pretty much the only thing that we don't make. We make just about everything else. But sex robots have been in the news a lot lately. I saw this article on CNET the other day about these robots that they are sex robots, but they also tutor your children. And I thought that was so cool because it's like at night they'll do things in the bedroom that one spouse doesn't want to do, and then during the day they'll talk to the kids, which neither spouse wants to do. But I talked to my boss, and he was like, no way. He was like, Sarah, I can't believe that you would think we even would want to be associated with anything remotely sexual. Like, come on, we're above that smut. This is Siemens, for God's sakes. I do love my boss, so, and I love my job. I really shouldn't complain. Although sometimes, any office job is hard. The other week, I asked my coworker how her day was going, and she said, I want to kill myself. I was like, so mad. And she was like, no, that means it's good because I only want to kill myself. Yeah. I thought, how terrible would that be if she actually had killed herself that day? Because then I'd have to do her work on top of my work, too. It would have been awful. I could keep going if you guys want me to keep going, or I can wrap it up.
How do you normally close?
Okay, I'll tell one more. I usually talk a lot about how hard it is being a comedian, especially if you're a person with anxiety, especially if you're new to comedy. Because the other comedians are kind of mean. Like, it's kind of like being at like a really like messed up high school. There's all this like drama that goes on, like rumors spreading, Facebook trolling, trash talking, and those are just things that I've been doing. Like the other day, I did the show, and this guy went to pay me afterwards, and he didn't have any more cash, and so he asked if he could swipe his credit card in my butt, and I was like, no, you cannot swipe your credit card in my butt. It's a chip reader. How old do you think I am? But the worst thing I think was this meme that I saw on Facebook. This guy posted, and it was like all these pictures of these really like beautiful, cleavagey girls, and each one had the name of like a fast food restaurant underneath it. And then the caption was like, "Where are you eating tonight?" So of course all the comedians had to comment things like, "Well, I'd pick Taco Bell because I like a girl who's extra hot." Or I'd pick McDonald's because I like a girl who's fast and easy. Or I'd pick Chick-fil-A because I like a girl who's super polite but secretly has radical conservative values. And I was like, you guys, this is so degrading and so misogynistic. And obviously KFC is the hottest one. Come on, she's finger licking good. That's usually where I wrap it up, I guess.
Let's hear it for Sara Geimer. Damn it. You know, before you first came in, Matt asked me, he said, do we have a comedian in? And I said, yeah, Sara Geimer. Or no, actually, I said Geimer. And then I said, or is it Gamer? And then you walked in, and then I said, is it Gamer or Geimer? And you said Geimer. And even though I thought it was Geimer right off the bat, I've completely fucked myself into believing that you're a gamer.
It's Gamer. I feel like that's just, I think I'm going to just change it to that because that's just easier.
It sounds cooler if you say I'm a gamer.
Yeah, because my maiden name actually was Buelo, but people always pronounced it Buelo. And so when I got married, I told my husband, I was like, let's just change it to Buelo Gamer or Buelo Gamer or something like that and just be done with it.
So Matt and I are both also divorced. How long ago was your divorce?
Not from each other.
Well, yeah, we separated probably 3 years ago, but I did actually just finalize it like a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Mazel tov.
Okay,
Thank
congratulations.
Was it Louis C.K. who said to Amy Poehler when she found out she was getting divorced? He said, "Congratulations," and she said, "Why?" And he said, "No one gets a divorce from a good marriage."
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, yeah,
exactly.
I mean, it sucks, but it's better than the alternative.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but you were separated for 3 years.
Yeah.
So
And we didn't
were you
live
not living together for 3 years?
No, we didn't live together for 3 years. He already has another girlfriend that he lives with and stuff. So.
Yeah, another life that he's destroying.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. No, but it's weird that because you had a lot of time. 3 years is a lot of time to pass before you actually go into the courtroom.
Yeah.
Like how long were you guys separated before you divorced?
We're still legally married.
Are you really?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, absolutely.
You
It's
are
more
really?
complicated than
How long has it been?
It's been like
Right?
5-6 years.
How are you doing your taxes?
I just I let her take the kids as a deduction as part of the the monies. It's all because I just never have the cash
For the divorce?
for the divorce.
I see signs on the side of the road that are like
I
99
do
cents.
too.
$99 divorce.
I know. I see those too. That I also see junk cars, and I wonder if they're the same guy. You know, Mister, you want a divorce? No. How about
I
junk
don't
car?
remember it being. I want to say it was like $350.
It's very stupid, but the thing is, it's a little money. But because we have kids,
Yeah.
I'd want to get a lawyer involved, just because I want to make sure that the kids are protected.
We've got a few mamas people who are in that kind of same boat, and we should just do like a telethon.
to raise money for divorces.
Yeah, to raise money for
Divorce-a-thon.
divorces.
There you go.
And we could get some specialty act friends of ours to come in and perform.
Sure, and we could host it as famous divorced people. Like we could be Richard Burton and Liz Taylor. There you go.
I think this is a great idea.
This is the worst idea ever told.
So where are you performing now?
My shows I usually perform, here in the Orlando area. Shows I have coming up are mostly for the Bonkers clubs here in Central Florida. I've got 2 Sanford shows coming up in October, and then in November, Crystal River, Ocala, and Daytona.
I have a clean joke for you if someone ever says, I need a clean joke. All right, this is it. There's a funeral and the grieving widow is standing there in front of the crowd. She's crying. A man walks up to her and says, "Do you mind if I say a word?" And she says, "Please do." So he stands up to the microphone and then says, "Plethora." And she says, "Thanks, that means a lot." You get it?
That's a thinker. Now, Todd and I had a failed venture our last time out.
I don't know what you're talking about. Failed. I feel like.
And so what we purport to do is listen to any material that you're currently working on that hasn't gotten there yet.
Something that's not show ready, and we want to work on it.
And we want to work on it with you.
Okay.
Would you feel comfortable doing that?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you have a joke that you
Or
feel like is not
just
there, or a
something that you're like, hey, there's something funny with waffles.
Yeah. I have a story that's it's a true story, and I feel like it gets laughed when I tell people and they know that it's true, but I've tried it on stage a couple times and it's just not.
Well, let's hear the story.
So when I was in high school, I had this friend, and she told me that I would get more dates if I basically like dumb down the way that I talk, and because that was back when like Paris Hilton and Britney Spears and those kind of like the bimbo-y. Yeah, like
I believe I was teaching high school at that time.
And I grew up in like a really small town, like full of like scientists and engineers and stuff, and so
where? Tokyo?
Los Alamos, New Mexico. It's like where they built the atomic bomb. Yeah.
Are your parents scientists?
My dad used to be a chemical physicist, but now he's CEO of a nonprofit.
Oh, that's boring. But the chemical physicist, that's in Los Alamos.
Yeah.
Wow. Can I ask you, are there any cancer clusters down there?
Oh, because of the plutonium facility? No, there's not anymore. Or not.
They're all dead.
That's took care of all of that.
You mean Glow Baby? Glow Baby's fine.
No, there's not any more cancer than any other city, I don't think.
Okay, so go ahead.
So I went on a date with this guy, and but I feel like I didn't really know like how dumb was like too dumb, because like most things that people say sound dumb. I felt like, so I went on a date with this guy, and it was like going really well, and he asked me to come back to his house, and he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I don't know what time is it?" And he like pointed to a clock on the wall, and I said, "I'm sorry, I don't know how to tell time." And when I saw his face, I knew that was like too far, that was like too dumb. I was like, "Oh shit, reel it in." Like, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take you home." And he like took me home right then.
Jeez, I think that's funny as hell.
Oh,
Is that a
thank
true
you.
story?
That is true, unfortunately.
So, all right. Let's unpack this.
Let's
for a second.
parse, shall we?
The thing that I find interesting is what do you do for a living now?
I work in engineering for Siemens Gamesa Wind Power.
Okay, so you're smart.
Oh, thank you. Yes,
Well,
we
don't know
like
what she does for them.
Are you a janitor
She could
or-
lick stamps, which is weird because they're all self-adhering.
Yeah. So you're an intelligent lady. But it's interesting, like when you ask someone who's a singer to sing off pitch or to
They can't
sound
do
a
it,
little
yeah.
pitchy, it's hard for them to do. So I think it's interesting that as an intelligent person, when you were trying to be dumb, you failed at it miserably because you're like, how do I dumb this down? I don't know how to tell time.
I think that's the brilliance of it, is that she actually picked a quantitative thing,
Yes.
a measurable activity. Not, whatever, but more like, I'm sorry, I forgot where the poop goes. Measure me stupid.
I pooped in your sink.
Yeah. I'll have sex with your pony now.
Did he really take you home right away?
Yeah. His
I
face
want to point out, you were in high school.
Yeah, his parents were like out of town or something. So
And you went to this guy's house.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's
And
find
then
out
he
more
took
about
me
this
home
guy.
immediately.
His parents are out of town, and a girl comes over, and she doesn't know how to tell time, and
And
his first
he
thought
throws
is,
her out.
get the fuck out of my house.
Whoa, lady. You're pretty and all, but you got to be this smart to ride this way. There's a cardboard cutout of Einstein. Hey! Wow. Well, you know what? That tells me that you lost out because that's a fellow who wanted a smart gal. What's he doing these days? Glow baby.
Oh, I can't remember. He was really good at tennis, so he went on to. I think he is a tennis coach or something.
Yeah, he's really good at tennis. So now he works at a country club as a coach.
He was really good at tennis. He died 3 years ago in a car crash.
Matt Haraho, he's a great actor. What's he do? He teaches.
I had news this week.
Do tell.
My second novel came out.
You act like you didn't know this.
No, I did know this, but I forgot because we started talking, and then I introduced her, and then we went into our joke document.
Way to bury the lead, author. What's it called again?
Nightmare of Neverland.
Right, and that's about Peter Pan, but everyone's on bath salts?
Yes, kind of. No, it's a retelling of Peter Pan, but through the eyes of Hook, who is a father whose son was taken by the vampire known as Peter Pan. Peter Pan's a vampire. That's why he can fly.
Oh, spoiler alert!
Tell me
now I'm not going to read it.
That's not a spoiler. The premise.
Read it.
I'm not telling you the ending of the book.
We all know the ending of the book because we know Peter Pan.
Oh,
it only goes
do you? This follows.
Yes.
This follows the same timeline as the original Peter Pan.
So we know exactly what happens.
No.
Well, if it follows,
because it follows the timeline, but that doesn't mean what happens is the same when you look at it from a different perspective.
I like the fact that you picked a story that really hasn't gotten enough play and different takes. Yeah, and Peter Pan is really no one's ever looked at Peter Pan in a different way. Is there sarcasm button?
I'm trying to think because when I was in second or third grade, we did a school play, and I was Peter Pan. And that was my thing when I put on the costume when we were talking about who the character was, that he never ages. That's what I knew about vampires. So I was like, oh, he's a vampire. That's why he can fly. That's why his shadow moves independently.
Wait a minute, no. Vampires don't have shadows, I thought.
No, they do.
They don't have a reflection.
Their shadows move independently. The shadows can do dark things.
You talk as if this is science.
No. We have a scientist here.
Yes.
Sarah.
We don't actually know if she's a scientist. What do you do at Siemens Wind?
Where is science right now on vampires?
Yeah, welcome to Ira Plato's Science Friday. We're going to talk about other things. So what do you do at Siemens?
I do...
Vampire research?
In addition to my vampire research, I do... it's funny. Since I've been dating again, guys always ask me about because I have kind of longer canine teeth, and so when I was on the dating apps and stuff, yeah, people are always like, "Oh, are you a vampire?"
Yeah, but they're horrible.
But then I thought about it, and then one time there have been a couple times when I've gone to the doctor, and my blood pressure was so low that they're like, "Well, you're alive, but barely." And so then I was like, I wonder if, I kind of feel like maybe I am a not that I'm a real vampire, but maybe this is where someone that
skin.
I'm super pale.
I've
got no blood. I don't do so well in the sun. I got the long teeth. Do
you like spicy foods?
No.
No.
What about garlic?
Well, that would be the spicy food I was leading us.
Okay.
Holy shit.
So let me ask you this.
So I'm a vampire American.
What was the movie with vampires where the cure was this? It was so stupid. The vampires were taking over the world. They ran businesses and they were hunting down the last of the humans.
The cure was like the sun.
Yeah,
I Am
the
Legend.
Cure was, no, it wasn't I Am Legend. The book was vampires. They didn't do a good job of that in the movie, conveying that they were vampires.
Oh right.
But in
no one got it.
No, in the book
it was
they
the
were
worst
just,
twist ever.
They were just zombie
zombies.
monsters or something. But in this movie, I want to say it was Ethan Hawke's character gets into a car crash as a vampire and he flies through his UV protected windshield, burns in the sun, and then submerges into the water where the car crash was. And that is what cures vampires. He comes out and he's human. And I was like, no vampire in the history of 3,000 or 4,000 years that they've been running the world has ever jumped from the sun into the water? That's... I feel like ways for humans to die, we've pretty much maxed out on. If you told me... There was a dude who committed suicide by tying a noose around his neck. he got into his car and then floored it, and his head popped off. And that was the last time that I went, well, that's it. Like,
there's nothing new under the sun.
There's nothing new. No new way to kill yourself.
Wow.
Let's think of that right now. What is the new way to kill oneself?
Oh, by the way, James is here.
Hi, James.
Hi.
Is your mic on?
I don't know, is it?
That's what she said.
Hello? Yeah, it's on.
Oh, let me turn you on.
What is a new way to kill oneself?
Death
Well,
by
it's
Instagram.
like if you had to do it now.
No, if I was in the Old West. Yes, now. What are you talking about? You just saw a guy tying a noose to his neck and then attaching it to the...
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to beat.
So I'm saying...
If you're having a suicide off with someone,
That's
first of all, you have to have an independent judge.
I mean, you really can only try once, so...
Well, you can try as many times, but you can only succeed once. No, I mean, what if, you know...
All right, James, how would you kill
Yes.
yourself?
I wouldn't.
Well, you suck at this game.
I know I would fail miserably. Sorry, guys.
I would, I think, just throwing it out there because there's been a lot of activity out there in Cape Kennedy, I would duct tape myself to the side of a booster rocket.
Do you think you would stay?
I don't think you could
I
duct
think-
tape yourself. You need like an accomplice.
Well, the other person in the...
But
in
even
the
still,
jump-
that weight would throw everything off, and you'd kill other people.
Well, what am I going to... how do I regret things when I'm dead? Sorry. You don't get to regret stuff when you're dead.
You know what I would do is I would say, hey, I would call Elon Musk, and I would say, hey, put me in the trunk of the car next time. Because then you'd get that ride up.
I feel like you're just piggybacking on my idea.
No, I think
I
I'm
was doing
improving.
space.
I'm improving upon your idea.
I feel it's a copycat.
All
Yeah.
All right.
Well, maybe
I'll
just
take,
something without space.
I'll take rockets out of it.
Okay, yeah, please
All right,
do.
I'll go, hey, James Cameron, next time you take a car to the bottom of the water.
He doesn't do that.
No, he just goes down. I think he holds the record.
He
though,
holds the record.
For the deepest plunge.
Yep.
in a,
In a
sub.
submersible. Well, in anything. In a plastic bag. He made it.
Russians did it first. Shot a dog down there.
We called him bait.
Sarah, how would you kill yourself? In a way to not draw suspicion on anyone like us who are sitting here.
Yeah.
Well, now that all the rocket-based ideas
No, we can't use
are
rockets.
taken,
As I know, she's saying
Yeah.
she can't. Because she's playing the game correctly.
and I would not want to implicate anyone else. I don't know. When I was in high school, I had a friend, and she said that instead of like jumping off of something, she would like go and stand on the edge of something, and then like inhale like dust off or something to make her black out, so that she would fall.
So she could
off
kill
of,
herself
Without
without
having
having
to,
hurting
like,
herself.
jump or like,
Like what
being
people do with
awake or
pills.
yeah.
Go to sleep and never wake up.
Yeah, but I mean, but you take the chance. If you're standing on the edge of a building and you
What if you
huff
fall
something,
backwards?
what if you fall the wrong way?
Right.
You
No,
wake up, you're like, "Ah,
you,
damn
you
it."
need to hang weights on your neck, like Brad Pitt did in that movie about the zombie. What is it? World
War Z?
World War Z. And he thought he might have been infected, so he stood on at the
Spoiler
precipice
alert.
and went. Yeah, he lives. The white guy lives. Believe it or
Surprise.
not. And he stands on the edge.
Finally, one for us.
Yeah, one for us up top. We just high five. We have to Foley in the high five.
Well, I'm not editing it in after the fact.
It costs too much.
The turnaround on these episodes is too quick.
Jesus. As you can tell, our brand of comedy isn't bought by many people.
It's the audience that comes in every week.
Ours is the Dusty Savarin coffee that no one buys anymore.
That's like 2 10-cent words.
I think the scary thing is when you're choosing a way to kill yourself.
Please.
When?
When
When?
you're choosing.
If. We'll say when.
Okay. You have to get something that you know works, because you don't want something where you're like,
You fail at
I
suicide,
have
then
the,
your
I'm going to make
ultimate loser.
a crock pot bomb and
Crock pot bomb.
and blow half my face off and then survive, because you don't want
And
to.
live
Yeah.
as Two-Face.
Well, that leads to the question I always ponder, and it's, I would kill for my children. I would die for my children. Would you take a bullet in the bottom of your spine and be a paraplegic for somebody? And that's a tough one, because, like you see somebody walking, oh, my God, this guy, he almost got hit by a bus, but I knocked him out of the way. And the most glorious thing would be we both live. The second is, oh, I died. But the third and the worst is he lived and I'm fucked. And now my life is shit, and this guy's gone on to
Right.
feel better about himself, and
He writes a book about it.
Yeah.
How he comes across as brave.
yeah, I worked my way back from depression. Hey, Wheelie, how's it going over there?
I'd actually written
Really?
a sketch.
Would that be your
That'd be
handicap
really
name?
good. Really.
I'd written a sketch for Duty Humor about a guy who, it was a religious TV show where it was like miraculous miracles, and they had a special guest who was this guy who jumped out of an airplane, his parachute didn't open,
He bounced.
and he decided to like try to guide himself over a lake. He overshot the lake and went for a freeway, but right before he hit the freeway, a semi hit him.
Uh-huh.
And but they're like, but through the power of Jesus Christ, he has survived, and he's here on our show. And this guy is brought out on a wheelchair, and he can't move, and there's just like a person, pushing his wheelchair. The only words he knows how to say are "kill
me." Yeah.
And that's all he says. And they're like, we think it's something in his brain that's causing him to say this. And he's like, "Kill me." That's what I don't want.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
I want to say right now, you don't even have to say it.
He would do it.
I would do it.
There's
Yeah.
there's a thing.
My
that,
God, Todd's not moving. Maddie's sleeping.
That's hello.
It's for the better of humanity. No, there's a thing that some amputees actually say is like if you lose your feet, you can get by, but if you lose your hands or your arms, it's really a lot more difficult.
Oh yeah.
Because you use your your hands for everything. So if your feet, you can get by, but
It used to be in the Catholic faith that you could not be a priest if you didn't have hands.
How are you going to chase those kids?
yeah, how do you get to molest children?
You see what they do. Low hanging fruit. She gets it.
I like low.
Geimer gets it. It's Geimer time.
Stop.
Is that a name?
Geimer time.
Yeah, that's my
Sara
last name.
Geimer.
Okay.
Sara Geimer.
Um,
What else are we talking about?
It used to be Sarah Bolo. And they changed it to Buelo.
Yeah, Buelo sounds.
Buelo Gamer. Dick Moist. That's my new private eye name.
Did we fix the joke? Because you told us the story.
I
and
thought it was a
yeah.
funny
Oh,
story. I
thank
think
you.
it's solid.
Yeah, it's
I
solid.
wouldn't touch it.
Thanks.
That was her plan. She's like,
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, well, I have one I'm not working
it-
on.
Sometimes it doesn't do. Or I feel like
I've
if
only
you know
taken a
it's
few
true.
piano lessons. Let me.
She still never told us what she does. It seems.
She hasn't,
right.
and I've noticed that. And I wasn't going to push it, but yeah.
I do like what's called sales support engineering, or I'm like,
Are you a customer service rep? Just
no,
say it. It's okay. Do you wear a headset?
I don't. I don't talk to anyone really at my job. I proofread contract exhibits and technical documents. It's as
Are you
fun
happy,
as
Matt?
it sounds.
Jeez.
That was a laugh riot.
You're right.
but what was the? Where is Siemens located?
Over by UCF.
Right, yeah, we were already there, James. We already,
Listen, I'm late to the party.
I'm
It
a
was-
little, I've
was
never been able
pre-gaming.
to get on board with it because up in New York where I'm from, Siemens is a mattress.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Or
Siemens first. So I always hear and I've heard
soaks
Siemens.
right in.
It's preferred by most hotels.
For that very reason.
Black light.
It's a sponge.
Squishy
Oh,
when
is
you lay
this,
down.
is that new gravity blanket? Sure.
Is that a gel middle?
Mm-hmm.
Right here we have.
You're pointing.
Lockheed Martin. I'm
Yes.
pointing in the direction
Yeah.
Of Lockheed Martin.
Actually,
Lockheed
it's
Martin.
there.
Is it there?
Yeah.
Isn't it? I thought it was Martin Marietta.
No, that's
Well, it's
before they
before
merged.
that.
So what is it now? Lockheed
Martin.
Oh,
Lockheed
Lockheed Martin Marietta. I see.
Which one of my favorite things to do?
Go the wrong way.
No, is when people ask for directions.
Yeah.
I send them.
Yeah. Well, you have to explain. what
I
you're
send
talking
them
about.
there. So what happens? Have you ever driven there?
or I've driven
accident?
by it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
if
done
you
an
drive
accident.
by on accident, first of all, there's one road that you can't turn around on, and as your car is going down the road, guys with assault rifles start walking towards your car to tell you that you've made a wrong turn.
Yep.
Yeah, because for some reason that's cheaper than a friggin' sign.
Well,
Well,
a
there
sign.
are signs that say one way to Sand Lake and the other way. This is your
Yeah,
last chance.
but just say no. I mean, the Wizard of Oz had these signs. I'd turn back if I were you. Keep out.
Labyrinth had them. Labyrinth had talking.
Labyrinth had them.
Don't move on. I wouldn't go that way.
Right, but if she didn't go that way, guess what? Movie's over.
Yeah.
She dies in a pit.
Some people go both ways.
She dies in an oubliette. It wasn't a pit.
We never get to see her
It's a place
boobs
where you put
in
people to
career
forget about them.
opportunities.
Oh, I love that word.
What's that? An oubliette?
Oubliette.
Oubliette. Yes, it's
Très
a 10-cent
bien.
word. Oui.
You know what else? Another good word? Abattoir, which is the bleeding place in a butcher shop.
That sounds very fancy, though.
Abattoir. Well, in French, everything sounds fancy.
Do you
Yes,
have a
sure.
favorite word?
Ménage à trois.
Ooh,
Oui.
no.
I don't have a favorite word.
Well,
I don't
pick
think.
one.
Oh,
There's a lot.
Holy shit, lady. You got like one job.
I
Proofread all day. You should have like
Yeah.
thousands of words. Every time you come across one, be like, oh, yes, I like that word.
I come across words all the time.
We know. Your porn collection exists in
But it's only porn of words.
Yep, porn words. Word porn.
He doesn't like the
The
images.
pictures, no.
He feels
He
competitive.
literally reads Playboy for the articles.
For the articles.
Yeah.
Come all
Playboy
over.
has great articles. I remember reading a Kurt Vonnegut article in Playboy.
Vonnegut. Oh, it's a party outside.
I know. Boy, they have more fun than we are.
That's not like a
Really? Are they coming in here? I hope so.
Did they
No,
stop publishing
I think that was
Playboy?
the end of that
No.
show.
Did they
right?
stop publishing
In Playboy
Playboy?
Paper. It's still
In
online.
paper?
It's still
Oh,
online. Really? Someone's going to go to Playboy online?
Yeah, that's where everybody gets their porn
After a
now.
while, Penthouse was just like, if it's pornography, you might as well do Penthouse. And now even Penthouse is, I haven't seen it in, God, it has to be a dozen years. But I must assume it's who would go to paper?
Yeah. Well, that was the difference between like kids today and then when we were kids. Because when we were kids, we didn't have the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You had to walk through the woods and maybe find like a partially discarded.
Why was that?
Well,
Why
I
is
think-
that
Or
where you
underneath your
find
grandfather's
pornography?
Isn't that weird? Because
People go in the woods to masturbate.
but it's
Why?
always
Go in the bathroom.
I just envision this like disturbing Johnny Appleseed just distributing porn through the woods for kids. Like some
Yeah.
guy who knew. He was like, these kids are gonna love me.
And you
one
know
day."
what? And you know what? No, nothing bad about the guy.
No.
Just doing a nice service. Just saying, hey, kids, here you go. he never touched them.
Yeah.
He never asked for thanks.
he probably sat at home thinking about the
No,
hundreds
no,
of youth.
don't dirty his memory.
Don't dirty his dirty mouth.
Johnny Cumbleseed is a sweetheart.
Johnny spread a seed.
John,
I like Cumbleseed. Cumbleseed has a better.
Well, Cumble.
there's
is
it has the C.
Yeah.
You gotta have the k sound.
So I think my favorite word is Pyrrhic.
Ooh, that's a nice word, and it's tough to spell.
Yeah,
Wait,
it
is there an
It's like
H in that?
PHY.
No, not PHY.
No,
It's like
that'd be fine.
PYH.
Yeah, I think you're right.
What does it
RRIC.
mean?
It's a victory in which you still lose something.
Oh.
Kind of like the what is it?
Like your virginity?
In medicine, it's the cure will kill you.
Yeah.
Something
Oh.
like that.
Chemo. Great.
Right. Pyrrhic is a good word. Good
Yeah.
adjective. Well, so back to you.
Oh, I was going to say, I read an article. This isn't my personal favorite word, but I read an article once where they interviewed people who don't speak English and asked them what they thought the most beautiful English words were. And the two top words were diary and diarrhea. Those
Very
are the
beautiful.
most beautiful English words,
And
apparently.
they mean the same thing.
Yeah.
One is where
One's
you
out
write
your ass
down.
and, yeah.
All
Just
your bullshit.
expel-
And the other
expelling
is
things from your
bullshit.
body.
My aunt was a nurse in a maternity ward, and they had to hand out pamphlets that chlamydia is not a flower. Please don't tell your child this.
It's a good one.
Or gonorrhea.
Yeah,
Syphilis and
gonorrhea.
gonorrhea.
I just had there's this kid in and he insists on writing chlamydia on things.
Why?
It's a tough word to spell.
I
so
don't
it's
know,
just-
but he does it.
practicing?
And so in front of all his friends, I said, "Hey, son, how about we stop being so interested in chlamydia?" And then he got embarrassed, and I was like, "Oh, good, I've done my job."
He's like, listen, I'm taking the power back.
He was spreading it wherever he could.
It's my word. You can't say that word. Only if you have it.
If you're a survivor. Me too. Hashtag.
Yeah.
Too soon. All right.
No,
really.
it's all so relative. and
we
relevant.
should wrap things up.
What? We're doing
condom.
so medium.
We have a show.
We have a show in like 20 minutes. We got more time.
Yeah, I have to post this episode before we
Yeah,
Yeah,
start.
and that takes
we
so
got
much.
more
It takes because you got to. There's a crank
gotta push a
involved, and
button.
there's-
I have to add in high five sound effects.
He has to bleep out me.
Yeah,
as always.
that's a whole lot. And the thing is, I don't just cut her out. I add white noise.
Yeah. Because I'm white, he's racist.
yeah, way to go.
So
This is horrible. My family. Throw a set, Brett.
Matt,
Yes.
what did you learn tonight?
I learned that vampires exist, and that she's sitting right across from me, and she's not scary, but rather delightfully funny.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. See.
James, what did you learn tonight?
Matt's gonna make me vomit.
Yeah, sorry, that was nice.
I learned that if I'm late to a podcast, you replace me with anyone who walks by.
Yeah.
As a rule, when you're late for anything, men will replace you.
If you learn nothing from
Sometimes even if I'm there.
if you learn nothing from our system of government right now,
Oh,
Too soon.
it's that
too soon.
Hey.
It's actually happening.
Hashtag I believe her.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, hashtag we already did that too.
I was just weighing in, you know.
Hashtag I don't believe him is a better
Oh,
one.
yeah, for real.
Because it's more powerful because it says him. And
Big
we
crying.
all stupid know that if you want people to understand what you're talking about,
Yeah.
it needs to
You
be
talk
about a
about a
man.
guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
No one saw Supergirl.
Have you seen? Have you seen the clip of him and Sam Jackson from
Yeah,
Pulp Fiction?
we already did
it's
that.
brilliant.
Yeah. We,
Gotta
Oh,
show
that
up on
you-
time.
Yeah, you commented on my page. All right.
Sarah.
what did you learn tonight?
Sarah,
I learned that you can kill yourself by tying a rope around your neck and then driving in your car until your head pops up.
Wow, you know
Do you
what?
think he sang the song? Do you know that Mama had a baby and his head popped off?
I don't know that song.
You don't know that? It's where you take
No.
those little dandelion flowers and you put your thumb underneath the flower.
Yes.
Oh,
And you go, Mama had a baby and its head popped off. And you
I
just
know,
flick your thumb
I
and the
know.
flower flies off.
Mama had a chicken. Mama had a cow. Dad was proud. You didn't care how. I like that song.
We did that already.
No, you didn't.
And I learned something. And I learned something tonight,
hate
too.
you.
What'd you learn, Penis Land?
I learned
Penn
that Penn Island
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I
is
keep
still
saying
a
that.
website.
Is it really?
Yeah. We did that already, but
I
like
know.
12 podcasts ago.
Yeah. Matt.
I'm just going back to the oldies.
I learned something tonight, too. I learned that if you go on Amazon right now, there's 2 novels that you can buy.
And which are only 2.
They're
So
by
far. The
author.
third one will be out in December.
There are no other novels on Amazon.
No, there's only 2.
It's just
Don't
2
even try
novels.
looking for them because there's only 2 that exist. And you'll look like an idiot if you even try
that
to
whole
find-
searching for Dickens thing is just a waste of time.
You're just making dirty jokes.
I see. My fault.
I like Dickens cider.
Lo siento.
But yeah, you could. Inhuman is still selling very well.
To whom?
To people on Amazon.
Like,
People who
Inhuman,
read 'em.
Inhuman is selling about a copy a day after 5 months. I'm pretty
That's
proud
pretty
of that.
and how much money are you making on this?
Decent. Like
About a
nothing.
copy a day.
Well, how much
Yeah.
is a copy?
A copy is $3.99 on Kindle.
Okay.
$11.99 for the paperback.
And so $11.99, and you get what, like $1 out of that, or
No, I get 70% from Kindle,
yeah,
and I get about $5 from.
$5. That's almost half.
Mhm.
That's a sweet
Well,
take.
we have a scientist. She could have done it. Done the math. For
I
us.
did the math in my head.
Are you good at math?
Don't shake your head. We're on
Oh,
radio.
yes. Or
She's so bright.
I thought that I was good at math till I went to school for engineering and met other
Where'd you go
people
to
that
school?
are actually good at math. UCF. Yeah.
Oh, you see.
Or yeah.
I met a woman the other night who went to my college and got the same degree I got about 10 years after I did. And it was weird because she's a nurse. And we were just blah, 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 and sitting next to each other. And she goes, oh, I used to be an actor. I got my degree. And I said, oh, where'd you go? She said, Montclair State. I'm like, get the heck out of here. She goes, yeah. And I said, and then we started all the different teachers that we knew, and then, having, where we did the shows.
And then they had sex.
No. It was very difficult. She was in a wheelchair. Thanks. She saved my life.
I hate you.
Pushing me out of the way of a bus, and
I read her book. It's great.
yeah,
It's on Amazon.
I'm great though. It's on the Strand.
The other book you can download
Oh God, we're still on this.
or buy is Nightmare of Neverland.
How come you haven't had a book signing?
I've read it.
You read you were on the beta.
Yeah, I was the beta
Great.
tester. Yeah,
Well, how come you haven't done a book signing?
Oh, I'm not going to do a book signing.
Why not?
you
It's not
should.
selling that well.
Well, yeah, because you haven't done a book signing.
No, so I listen to these podcasts with these authors.
You listen to these podcasts?
No, I do listen to these podcasts.
Really?
We got to have at least one.
You
Hey, you
masturbate to 'em.
play something while you go to sleep.
Listen to me.
But no, these podcasts with authors, and some of them are authors that I've read their books and they're really good, and they're doing it for a living, but they're not. They're not making $1 million a novel.
They're making a living.
Yeah, they're making a living doing it, and I think that's amazing. And they were like, "Yeah, we're going to do a book tour." They came back with this book tour, and they were like, "Yeah, we're selling good. We're not selling that good. Like they went to outside of their city.
Yeah.
And there was nobody.
It's like the end of the trade show when the people from, I don't know, let's say Siemens are walking, just like throwing all the squishy balls. We don't want to pack them up again. We don't want to bring them back on the plane. You see this poor guy just dumping paperbacks into a garbage pit.
I knew these guys, like when I would do those trade shows, I worked with companies that did a lot with LED, and they always had these little LED trinkets. And they would seriously go to the airport and upgrade. They would upgrade to first class with just a little 30-cent bouncy ball flashing thing.
Wow.
All right, we got to finish it up. We're Mama's Comedy Show. We're here every Friday night at 10 p.m. You can find me, Todd, on Twitter and Instagram at Todders, or Snapchat and Xbox Live at Duty Poo Poo. See, I'm also a gamer.
And a
Matt,
duty, yes.
Instead of a Geimer. Matt, where are you?
I am nowhere on the social media.
All right. James.
Hi.
I do enjoy the texting. I do text.
Do you want to give out your number?
Yes, it's. I wish I knew your number off the top of my head. I would have just been 407-777-7.
I think that's. You just gave out a lawyer's phone number.
Walter J. Beninati. I know the guy. Yes, the guy did my bankruptcy. Thank you, Walter.
James, where are you?
You can find me and my burlesque group online at coursesandcuties.com. We have a show this weekend. Actually, we have a best of at the venue. 8:30 early show. It's only an hour and $12. It's the cheapest you'll find it outside of Fringe. It's our favorite routine, so we're bringing back some of our favorites. It's going to be a good time at the venue. You can look at us up online as well on Instagram. We are also there at CorsetandCuties.com.
Sarah, where can people find you or follow you?
I'm on Facebook at Sara Geimer Comedy and on Instagram at Sara B. Geimer.
Oh.
Is it Beth?
No, Willow.
Yeah. Willow.
All right.
We already did that.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.